career readiness alignment that we did and bring that up. So what we did is we took any of the high school or the middle school courses and saw if they aligned to the PA career readiness standards, but we also specified in this spreadsheet, you can see if it has the yes that is highlighted in yellow, that's where an actual portfolio item we suggested came from. So although the courses may contain alignment, sometimes the assessments may not produce an actual artifact that we recommend you would use for the students. So we wanted to specify that here in this spreadsheet by highlighting it with the yellow. So for instance, yeah, that's better, thank you. For instance, for English 2, let's see, honors. You can see where any actual lesson, where it's instructed, where there's relevant content, and where it's assessed. But if it's not highlighted, we don't really recommend you using that as an artifact. But then as you can see down here, Unit 1, Lesson 5 writing assignment includes a questionnaire that you could use as an actual artifact. So we wanted to make sure to kind of spell that out for you. Are there any questions about this spreadsheet that you were sent? Is anybody having trouble navigating it or anything? Nope? Okay, great. Also, we added 6 new conceptual activities to the life school courses that directly correlate to the PA career readiness standards and do contain great artifacts that you can use for your students, ranging from journal activities to mock interviews, sample resumes, and I actually brought some examples. So one of the prompts is a mock job interview so that a student could actually experience being interviewed. You know, there are many things that we do to prepare students for this, but actually having a mock interview is the best way to like legitimately prepare them for it. So we have this prompt here. We provide questions. Okay.
They still can't hear.
Carol can't hear.
Oh, this can't hear.
I'm in. I can get audio.
You can hear audio?
Or turn her speakers on.
Turn her volume up.
Nice.
Okay. As you can
Ask the chat.
yeah, maybe.
Ask the chat to see if they can you hear me.
I can log back in. I was
Yeah.
not in there.
Yeah.
Here's the chat.
You guys at the help desk can hear.
Okay.
Let us know what she says then if she says something.
Just type it on there.
Okay.
Good. Hi, Carol.
Carol's with us.
Okay.
Okay. So as you can see, we provide them with a sample interview, why employers ask these types of questions, a mock interview worksheet, an actual audio recording that they can listen to understand what's expected of them. And then I brought a sample worksheet from a student. So just ask them the kind of simple questions on what position you're interviewing for and so forth. But what we really like is that we give them an opportunity to record an audio file of their actual interview. So I'm hoping this is going to play properly for us all here.
One second.
I'm gonna pause that. Pause that.
We have to restart the share because we're not getting audio from the share itself. I have to click that little box. Yep.
Oh yeah, down there. Share computer sound.
Sorry about that. Replay. So this is an example of a mock interview that a student is doing with an adult. I'm not sure if it's a parent or not.
Hi, so what's your name and why are you here today?
My name is Isabella Barbosa, and I am here for the dog walking position.
Have you ever owned a pet?
Yes, I have owned many pets.
So have you ever had a bad experience with any pets?
Yes, but whenever I do have a bad experience with an animal, me and the pet are usually fine at the end of it.
So what kind of a thing would you do if you started to have trouble with one of the dogs you were walking?
I would stop walking the dog and get the dog's attention and try and calm him down and then continue walking him.
And what would you do, let's say one of the dogs actually tried to go after a person?
I would yell at the dog and like yank his leash a little and tell him to stop, and I would try and get the person to be calm, because if the person freaks out, then the dog will freak out more, and then I would like walk the other direction with the dog.
And how many dogs do you think it would be safe for you to control at one time?
Probably 3 or 4, because I can keep an eye on all of them, and it would be safer for them with all the leashes and for me to control them.
So how old are you now, and what's one of the first jobs that you've had?
I'm 16 right now, and last summer I worked at the public pool at the concession stand, and I've done some babysitting for friends and family.
Okay, so do you have any questions you'd like to ask me?
Have I answered all your questions?
Yeah, I think you've answered all my questions, and we'll have to take your case and sit down and go over it with all the other people that have applied for the job.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So it gives them an opportunity to actually experience those questions in real time with an adult. As we know, practice makes perfect in those situations. So another prompt that we've added is a personal budget. So oftentimes students, imagine a career, but they don't understand the cost associated with it, or even what they would make after they accomplish that career, and paying back student loans, for instance, and things of that nature, housing expenses, healthcare, all of that. We provide them with a budget template and a rubric, and we've gotten some really great examples of this thus far. This student right here calculated all these different, even meals, other food expenses, transportation. Down here they do put loans for school and things of that nature. So it helps students to really gather figures that are realistic and not get into a career that might not be for them. The Mastery Project Planning Guides is another really great project that we're excited to provide, because a lot of students were struggling. A lot of the Edison courses were one lesson, one day type of timeline. So we understood that the projects obviously take a little bit more time. So we provided a breakdown of each Mastery project for the student. It outlines the internal, external, and action projects. It also goes through each lesson title, the graded activities that are within that lesson, and the average number of class periods that it should take the student to complete. So it's nice for them to just have this in front of them. Obviously, as an advisor or anybody helping the student with pacing, this would really help as well. So we broke down every single one of them for the students, and you as well. Are there any questions thus far on any of the material that we've presented? Did everyone get these? Does everyone have the project planning guides? I'm going to take that as a yes. Okay. We also recently released a navigational optimization, and the release is mainly around the improvements for eCourses enhancements to the course map. There was an issue where the wrong task was displaying when you accessed it from the My Day course map. We've alleviated that with this release. There was also assessments that have been completed. It would show you the course map so that you can continue to improve your grade instead of having to do that workaround that people were doing to get back into work on those lessons. And that is pretty much all we had to present for you today, the things that we've come out with over the past few months and through summer. Are there any questions or concerns or anything else that you'd like to talk about here today at this meeting that you'd want me to bring back to the team or anything like that? I'm not sure if anybody did the chat.
No, I'm not seeing any on the chat.
Just Carol saying hello.
All right, then that was all that we had to present from Edison team.
All right. Well, thanks, Katie.
You're welcome.
All right. All right. So, help desk, do you guys have anything?
No, I know in the Edison one later, we were going to discuss the update on the navigational issue. So I can cover it now if you want. That way we don't have to later. But the navigational assessment issue, we just heard today, they're still looking into a fix. So if you have any students still experiencing it, just reach out to us. We'll pass them for now. And hopefully we'll have a fix out soon.
Okay.
And that's all we have.
All right. Do you want to talk about the student scholarship there, Aaron?
Yep. So I think you all were here last month when I talked briefly about the student scholarship. So the application period is open now. So if you have students that you feel like would be a good candidate for the scholarship, the application's out there. It was sent in our weekly update. We'll probably keep it in our weekly update for a while, just to keep it in the forefront of all your minds. We have until April for the application period, and we're in the midst of forming a committee now of folks here that work at the intermediate unit to review those applications. So that's all the real update I have on the scholarship. Is there any questions about the scholarship?
Do you want to mention the course catalog, Kristen?
Oh, yes. So I added table of contents to the course catalog, to the high school, middle school, and elementary school catalog, just so when you're trying to find a course, you know which page it is on. Originally, I just added page numbers, and then I realized, well, there's no table of contents. So those have been added. The eDynamic section of the catalog, we're still kind of working our way through it, with us, breaking the courses into one semester. But there is a table of contents, so that should be helpful for you. And we are still working diligently on a new website for the catalog. So we are hoping to have an update with that by next networking meeting. So it's exciting. That's it.
You're doing fitness trackers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, so the next item on the agenda is about our fitness tracker giveaway. Yes, so that was in the weekly update last week as well, and that will continue to be on the weekly update. I have a sample of one right here I'm going to pass around. They're called Move Bands. It's Move Band 2. Some things that you should know about the fitness trackers is they're several years old now, so it's kind of the technology moves really quick when it comes to these pedometer fitness tracker things. These ones are not Bluetooth enabled, so they have to be plugged in to a computer to transfer the data over, and there's create a free account online and all that, but it isn't something that you can sync with an app on your phone, unfortunately. But we have quite a few of them. I know that we've gotten about 8 responses so far, and so over 1,000 of them are already accounted for, but we have almost 3,000 of them to give away. And it's really a first come, first serve thing. So, I'm not, don't feel like, oh, well, I'm not going to be fair because other people aren't going to get an opportunity for them. We're going to keep reminding folks over the next couple weeks, and we're going to keep it out there until they're gone. So if anyone is interested in those, I encourage you just to go ahead and fill out the application. It's just a Google form. And the only thing that we ask is that if you do take those, that we can use, if we can get a testimonial from your district after you've used them for a little while to see how they've gone. So we can use that for marketing purposes for our program. That's it. No cost.
Can the students download the software on their tech on the laptops they get? There isn't any download restrictions.
I don't know if there's I don't know if you download
I remember
anything.
when I used it, I had to download the
Did you have to
software.
download something?
Yeah. I'm just
So if you're
curious.
using a Chromebook, it might be an issue. Then.
Yeah, there's a possibility depending on what it is, but we do have, I mean, we have admin credentials, so if you would need to,
So just tell them to submit a ticket to them.
yeah, we can
Okay.
just do it for you.
All right.
All right. So our next topic is keys to driving. Taking that one.
So we're entering into a partnership with
Ed Savoy.
Ed Savoy's driving school. I don't know if you ever heard of that. They've been around for quite a long time in this area. But they offer a online driver's education course that we're going to roll out, I think, the beginning of next school year, if I remember correctly. So this is just more of a FYI that, hey, we're going to be offering this. I know we tried it once before. We're going to try it again, see if it works a little bit better this time.
Yeah, because I think we'll be in control of it more because we
Yeah.
went through a different vendor
Mhm.
last time. So,
Mhm.
you know, we're going to integrate and we'll be more in control of it. So I think it'll go a lot smoother.
Yeah, we're working on getting it integrated so it'll be accessible right through
Yeah,
Genius.
right through Genius. It's a great option.
Thinking about that as a half credit or a full credit class?
I don't know that it's going to be a full credit.
From my understanding, I think it would be a half credit,
Yeah.
but that's just my
I think it's
experience
just
working
one
with the districts.
semester.
And
I think it's just once.
And will they pay for, the students will pay for that or not, or?
Districts will be billed as any other course.
but you could have the
If
students.
we want, okay.
pay
Yeah,
for
yeah.
it,
So
for
we
sure.
would bill you, the school district, to use the course just like any other course.
Okay.
And then it would be your responsibility then if you wanted to charge the students to do that.
Is it certified to get the insurance reduction?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Mhm.
10% off. Yeah.
Our next thing is the Colicon. Nyla, are you going to go over that? The registration numbers and stuff? Instructions?
Hold on, I gotta switch screens.
Registration closes soon.
Yes, registration closes February 15th. We have 296 people total registered currently. Only 61 of those people are from IU15. So if your school district hasn't registered yet, you got a lovely email from me this morning. There are registration instructions in detail that are attached to this with the registration code for our exclusive registration code for IU15. So if you have any questions, and also I've had a lot of people ask questions about hotel accommodations. If you are coming for the conference and you're registered as a COLA member, Wednesday night and Thursday night are covered. We provide those accommodations for you, and you will receive a confirmation email from me as soon as registration closes. So you don't have to worry about booking a hotel for Wednesday night and Thursday night of the COLA conference. If you have any other questions, go ahead and just email me.
And I think you said we had like 130 total for our consortium
Yes.
registered right now.
134.
So we're working
Oh, wow.
we're working up, but we definitely want to get another 50 or so registered by the deadline. So if any of your districts, if you still haven't done it, make sure you get that done before February 15th.
All right, next item here, we'll go through the vendors. I think I have this in Genius, but I want to mention, given the fact that we've got 4 different vendors now that we're working with, I'm going to come up with a tip sheet on closing out courses and what the actual procedures are by vendor, because there's confusion between Accelerate Ed, eDynamic, and Odysseyware. So just to kind of clear that up, I'm working on that now, and I hope to have that out to you guys sometime next week. And for Accelerate Ed, some of you might remember the name Jamie Aki. She is coming back to work for Accelerate Ed, so she'll be our point person now for AE. I believe she starts, next week?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she starts next week. So I know for some of you in here and for some of you guys online, Jamie Aki is a familiar name. We're excited to be working with her. I think she's excited to be back in the online business. So hopefully good things to come.
I can guarantee you she will not throw Hershey Kisses at you either.
Yeah. Or throw,
You all were here for that, weren't you?
Yeah.
Our previous network meetings. Okay.
So you don't have to wear headgear if Accelerate is coming to present here, or come in full football regalia in case you get something thrown at your head. We already went over Edison with the outages and the spinning E. Those are still being investigated and worked on. We're just as frustrated as you guys are. But in Edison, they're trying their best. So.
Yeah, we're extremely frustrated as well. It's all the way to the senior leadership and legal teams are involved in it. So we're taking it very seriously, and we're just as upset, if not more, than you about it.
Dynamic, did you want to go over?
Yeah, do you have the career cluster
Yeah.
up? Yeah, pull that up. So eDynamics shared with us kind of like a one-pager, which will be super helpful for you guys when you're looking at the pathways and things like that. So I wanted to share this with you guys. And this involves all of our new splits. So each course is now a semester. So it makes it easier for scheduling and whatnot. So obviously you're going to want to do the 1A first, and then the 1B next, and then the 2A, and then the 2B. Now, each course is a semester, but there are a few that have 8 units instead of 6 units. And I'm working with eDynamic right now to get that list of courses to share with you guys, because I think it would be helpful when, with scheduling and enrolling, just because the 8-unit one, I mean, it's definitely doable in one semester, but it might be a little bit more rigorous. So just to keep in mind. Go ahead.
Is this effective immediately? Because I'm looking on here and I see a class that I think personal and family finance was a 2-semester class at the beginning, and I enrolled a student in it. Do I now need to go in and enroll them in personal family finance 1B to get the second half of the class that I thought was in
Let me check.
the original?
Because this cluster sheet should represent, hold on, what's in Genius right now. So hold on. So you're saying, when did you enroll?
Like in August, if there was a class up there that has since been split, do we need to enroll them in the?
I see what he's saying. So back at that point, that would have been 1 semester long course. The student completed that. These are now not semester courses. They're
Right.
Would they need to complete both? But he completed the semester course, he or she. So I wouldn't think so, right?
No.
I know that eDynamics
Because
had
it's
they
split
had
now.
2 semester courses before.
Right.
Like they had one course that had 2 semesters.
Right.
And that's what I thought this was. Like those classes got split into 2.
I believe so. Yeah. It was 1 semester course and now they're parts, correct or no?
No, they were. I think it's the opposite.
It's the
They were
opposite.
A
right?
year-long course, and we split them into semesters.
So if they completed that initial year-long course,
So
they
if
wouldn't
they
have to take they
initially,
wouldn't have to take part B,
if you
correct?
enrolled in personal
Yeah.
family finance back then the student already completed the entire
Yeah.
course.
Or what if they haven't completed the course? Like if they're only halfway through now, is it still going to be the original? Like I enrolled them in August. Is it still the
So
original?
are they getting rid of the old year? Did they get rid of them? Or are they just waiting until all the kids complete them first?
That's something we'll have to follow up with.
Right now, I just am
eDynamic.
showing
Yeah.
personal family finance A.
I mean, I would think if they're still enrolled in
I
the
would think,
course,
yeah.
Yeah,
Then-
I'm just
Yeah, I wouldn't think that it would change.
I wouldn't think it
when
would
they were
change.
in
I would
it.
just extend the end date.
like I had the end date for the whole year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's what
just
I would
keep
do.
it that way.
I would just keep
Well,
it that
if
way.
you can send us the student, we can follow up with eDynamic to double check.
Yeah,
I
so
got a
you said
couple-
August, so
Yeah, like
That would have been
Yeah.
at the start of the school year,
Yes.
the end of August,
Yeah.
personal and family finance,
Yep.
because I just found it was a 2-semester.
Yep.
And I just want to make sure that I don't need to put them in
No,
1B then.
no, because that would be the same course
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think so.
that
but
they're
we'll double
currently
check,
in,
yeah.
if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because right now, when you go to enroll,
Right
you're going
now,
to
if
do
I
personal
started
family
to know.
finance A, and then you're going to do
Right.
personal family finance 1B.
Okay.
Okay. So, but for you, you'll be fine with that end date at the end of the year,
It's just any new enrollments
Mhm.
Yes.
from when this came out.
which was, what was the date of that?
It was December, wasn't it?
When did we roll it? End of December?
Around Christmas, yeah.
End of December for sure.
Because we wanted it to be ready for, second semester enrollments.
Is this Also gonna, I mean, I'm not seeing it on the high school course catalog link that I got, or at least I have.
Yeah, I can add this to the catalog link for sure.
Yeah, could we
Yep.
put that on there?
Yep.
Because I gotta have a
Yep,
kid.
I can do that right now. Yep. Why don't I just do that and that's how we'll share it. Yeah, I'll do that right now.
All right. Genius, like I mentioned, about the tip sheet by vendor on, the procedures for closing courses out. And that's all we have for Genius. Odysseyware, just, we have the assessment retake policy here. Just remember, from the start date with Odysseyware, 30 weeks you have to extend that course out. After 30 weeks, then you'll have to pay for the extension. So 30 weeks from the start date. And then that will be billed to you then via invoicing.
So sorry, to back up to eDynamic, in the table of content section, I have all of those career clusters listed, but I can also put that kind of, so you can maybe just print that out. I'll put that at the eDynamic section.
I don't want to.
Because it might be nice to have that though, just in there.
It's just, yeah, like if I had a kid that I'm like, all of a sudden he needs another half credit
Yep.
class, or what we allow students to do is if they finish early in
Yes.
their junior year or whatever, and they want to take an extra class, we allow them at the end of the school year if
Okay.
there's time. So
Cool. Yeah, I'll just put that in there at the end.
most of those classes being taken are going to be these electives from
Right.
Dynamics. So
Okay. Sorry, I took that back.
It's okay. And then nobody here uses eSchool, right? I didn't think so. Just one of our new districts from IU10 uses eSchool, and they had some questions, but I got them answered by Genius. I was just curious to see if anyone in this room used eSchool. That's all we have right now. Do you guys have anything for us?
The pieces of evidence for the career readiness, how is anybody collecting those pieces of evidence from their cold kids? We're in discussion every day of our current in the building kids, of we were using Google Sites, now we're moving to something else. Another idea that we had, because the state came in December or January to various area schools and monitored them, and they went in and they just pick names and they say, we want to see these pieces of evidence for this kid, this kid, and this kid. So if they pick a COLA kid,
Wow.
how do we, like, how's anybody saving those pieces of evidence that's part of their assignments?
They ask for them like a paper copy? Do they have you email them, or how do you send them?
They want to see them right then, so
See them right.
some
wow.
schools,
Aren't they supposed to be uploaded in their,
they
on
can be,
that site, on the career, there's a career,
well, they'll come
I
in, East Penn has paper, hard copy, so I heard
Okay.
they went to East Penn, and East Penn has folders for each kid. They went to Steelton also, and I'm not sure what they did, but we're in everyday discussion of how we're going to make that easiest come April and May when PSAs and Keystones, of what's easiest way to, when they say, here, show me these kids, that you just pull up a kid and there's their portfolio. But we're just wondering if it's a COLA kid, how do we save an assignment into their stuff, or how anybody's doing that with COLA kids.
I mean, uploading them probably to a Google Suite document of some sort and having them to be able to print them out, so you don't have to print them all out as they're happening, because like you said, they pick random kids.
Yeah.
So it's a waste to kind of print every single kid's artifact out, right? So maybe just making online folders in Google Suite somehow, with documents or folders, so that you can print them out.
I think that's what West Perry did, because, excuse me, I remember I had to, the other week, send them some artifacts for a few of their COLA kids, and I just downloaded them and just sent it to the counselor.
Google folders.
Yeah, that's what we were doing, and
But yeah, that
we're
would be-
doing that, and then we created a career readiness so that everybody shares with this career readiness, and then certain teachers, people have access to that, so that when they come in, because we were doing Google Sites up until Friday, when we decided an easier way.
I guess that would be good for the listserv too. see what other districts are
Yeah,
doing.
I'd shoot
Because
that on the
everybody's got to
listserv.
be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, everybody's trying to figure it out.
No. Print out.
Anything else for the good of the group, or questions, comments, concerns?
All right, so obviously we're figuring out Odyssey Ware. We have a unique situation where we have a student who is NCAA compliant, so we're not taking on that paperwork, so he's being taught by their teachers. We're still the ones issuing grades in our district grade book. We requested non-running totals, and they said they weren't able to get us those grades, that it should come through Genius. And in Odyssey, those grades aren't posted. They have the up-to-date grade, but they don't have the non-running. And they said, well, we don't have the non-running, which is not true, because for my kids, I could get my non-running.
We found our non-running,
So
we know how to do that.
I don't know what to do. Now, luckily, this kid, he finishes all his coursework, so we're good. At the end of the semester, his courses are done. But they're either unwilling to give us those grades, or they sort of expect them to be on Genius. I don't know.
I think it's more they expect it to be on Genius, and that's something we're working with them now to
All
get
right.
that pulled into Genius.
Okay.
But if you ever need it, let us know, because we can go in as the super teacher and
All right.
find those non-running grades.
It
All
would
right.
just be for
Our
like,
NCAA
for
kids.
the end of first and the end of third marking period, when we're halfway through the semester
Mhm.
and we need to put a grade on our report card. But we talked about it at lunch, and we figured it had something to do with the NCAA certification, and maybe they wouldn't issue a non-running because of whatever. That's kind of what we were thinking.
Okay, yeah.
Because we found it yesterday. I went in and I was able to find where it was for our kids, but we're not NC Bermudian online teachers are not certified.
Yeah. All right. Well, if that's everything, then thank you guys for coming. Sorry the attendance was a little light, but the weather's kind of crappy, and it's January. When is our next networking? Anybody know? Go ahead.
February 20th.
Luann knows.
February.
Because I was just scheduling.
Okay.
Is that my birthday?
Yes, it is.
It's my birthday.
We did that.
That's
for
in my
Christmas.
Let's have
Yeah.
cake.
I was gonna say maybe we'll watch that food then here.
I'll sit on that side.
Sit next to Adam.
Yeah, I'll just sit
You
next
got
to
a
you.
cake here, then it'll be
I'll
a
wear my
perfect
birthday
day.
hat.
If Rick comes, then you're gonna have trouble sitting
Oh
next to Adam.
yeah.
Rick sits over there. I got this
Oh my
one
gosh,
open.
you guys are
That one's
killing
okay.
that.
Now, if I walk in and you're here, I'm just turning around.
I don't know. I might.
Okay. Yeah. Put it there.